science?
No, she said she was interested also because she had done it somewhere else. It might have been health or something like that.
Yeah, I could see how health
they do
could
mental stuff for
top
sure.
Into that a little bit. That's cool. So what other classes do you teach?
Usually AP Environmental, sometimes honors biology, sometimes Regents biology, and then anatomy and physiology is not running this year.
Okay.
We can't.
It depends on the signups.
No, it really depends. Yes, but we let the APs determine that. So even if 100 kids signed up for anatomy and physiology, and I had 2 AP environmentals, they wouldn't run the anatomy and physiology because they want those APs.
Oh. How do you find that the flexibility or not with when you're doing an AP class? Like, do you still manage to find time to do those types of projects, or do you feel like the curriculum doesn't allow for it?
I am lucky, so I'm not the typical AP in the respect that environmental science is a single semester course in college, whereas poor AP Chem and AP Biology have Bio 101 and Chem 101 and Chem 102 and Bio 102. They have an entire year worth of information to get through. I have the luxury of taking them outside and using the camera lens on Google. I have the luxury of doing projects and saying, let's do more hands-on. Let's think about how you're going to set up this global warming demonstration. You come up with ways that we could influence the top by pretending it's a garden or making a forest and, see how it's absorbing the things differently. You can design it. Not everybody in AP Sciences could do that.
Got it. Okay. And yeah, so you're doing a lot of hands-on stuff.
I'm trying to. I tried to flip my classroom this year, but it takes quite a bit of work, and sometimes I have to find myself going out and buying vinegar and baking soda and stupid stuff like that. But anyways.
Wow.
I'm trying.
Cool. Yeah.
I tried to because they provide videos for the basic concepts on AP Classroom. So the kid's supposed to be watching them at home, answering questions, and that way we can come in and do instead of me talk. But I've been talking a little bit because there is because of the computers having access to see whether the kid actually watches it or not.
Oh, yeah.
They don't actually watch it and they'll hand in the homework. And I'm like, what do I do with this? They're
How do they do it?
I wonder.
Oh.
I wonder. I wonder why everybody has the same wrong answer.
Oh my God.
I can't take it. But anyways,
Well,
I ask them
but then when they do the hands-on thing, they'll either know it or they won't, I suppose, right?
That's their point. If we do okay, leave us alone. I'm like, ooh.
That's a
but I'm helping you a lot.
Thinking about it, yeah.
I'm helping you a lot through it too.
Right.
I'm not leaving you out there to just do it wrong. I'm not going to let you do the lab wrong.
So the Regents, I don't know what they're called, the Regents level classes, the ones that, so what's happening with those? You're saying there's been with the time crunch with the
lack of learning how to retrieve from their own brain. I'm working on.
How do you see that occurring? Like how do you know that that's happening or think that that's happening?
Because I always ask questions in class, and there is crickets compared to previous years.
Interesting.
I was like waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, we've done the building block of DNA. You know what the building block of DNA is, and they really didn't. Gene. I'm like, no. Nitrogen base. Well, you're on the right track. That's part of it. There's 3 parts to this building block of DNA. They never came up with nucleotide. I finally had to point it out to them or something.
And so what do you find gets eliminated since you have to spend more time on that?
I've completely eliminated the projects that I would normally, in a Regents class, I would guide them through most of it and then let them finish it up maybe on their own. In honors, I would let them do that completely on their own and check their work before they present it. Basically, that's it.
Yeah.
And check their resources and check how they did. But in Regents, I would spend more class time doing it, and I've cut that out because there's more teaching to be done, more
content,
more practice because they're not thinking anymore. They've shut their brains off.
And interesting. Do you think that that's, I mean, we don't know why. Do you have any ideas?
Because they didn't have to remember it for a test or quiz for a couple of years or a year and a half.
Right.
All they had to do was look it up. And they got good at looking it up. But I don't have that luxury because I have a Regents exam at the end where they can't look it up.
Right. In general, if there wasn't the Regents exam, do you think it's still a deficit if they don't remember stuff, but they just look it up?
And I might be very different from other people. I found that when the elementary school teachers require them to sit down and learn it until you really truly know your multiplication tables, I think they do better later on in life. And I still do think, and I think a lot of teachers disagree with me on this one, I still think that there is some value to being able to retrieve and remember things out of your brain.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I agree.
I think the less we use the
foundational
brain,
stuff.
the less we use it, and we rely on looking up. And don't get me wrong, now that I'm older, I'm having trouble with it. But when they're young, I think we should make them retrieve information that they've learned previously. Because I think then we lose that ability if we constantly just go to our phone and look it up.
Yeah.
I don't know what the science says on that.
I don't know either. Yeah. But I'm sure people are studying that like crazy, especially now.
I know, I have to look that up.
Right? Wait, what was I going to ask you?
So the research projects kind of get dropped to the side.
Yeah. Shoot, what was it? Do you think a lot of teachers have used the word persistence and kids struggling with actual persistence? Do you think, and I'll be quick, but I'm wondering what I've heard persistence and I've heard like lack of skills, and I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think lack of persistence. I think they have the ability to click into those skills. And I think they've said to themselves, and even my own children, I find, are saying, it's not that important anymore.
What is
After
important?
the pandemic, they think that there's been so much pressure, and when you lived a life without the pressure, you never want to go back to that pressure.
I mean, that's not a bad. I get
They're
it.
like, hey, can you dispute that?
Yeah, you can't, right? So you think?
Well, I can.
Yeah, well, for school, so you think that they're not prioritizing
They don't think it's important anymore.
generally learning, studying.
I have a daughter in AP Bio, and until she started to crash and burn, she put the time and effort in to get through it, and then stopped again. And I'm like, how about a little consistency, a little bit more every night?
Yeah.
Shut up, leave me alone. Come on in. Hi, Carly.
Fascinating. Thank you.
All right.
You have class.
Yeah, I got class.